Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of the Yamaha Warrior build. As you guys know, I picked this thing up for $400 a couple days ago, and the problems that I had were the starter didn't work, or supposed problems. The starter didn't work, the battery was dead, and the carb needs cleaning. And I got it home, found out the starter did work. We jumped it with the battery pack right here, and the starter cranked over the engine pretty good. But then it wouldn't start. We put gas down the cylinder, we put gas on the carburetor, and it wouldn't pop over or anything. So that's what made me think it was the timing or the valves that needed to be adjusted. We changed out the spark plug, we're getting good spark, and it must just not be sparking at the right time. We took off the air box, and we know it's getting air, we know it's getting spark, and we know it's getting fuel. The spark plug was wet when I checked it, so we're getting fuel. So it's a little bit of a mystery here, but we're going to take off the plastics. We're going to get to the valves, which are right up in here. You can see them. They're right at the top of the engine, right up there. Right there. There's a valve cover right there, and one on the other side. So what we have to do is get at the top dead center. You take out this little plug right here, and you look for the T mark, and then line it up with the mark right here. And then that's top dead center. And then you adjust the valves from there, based on the specs, and I'll have to look up the specs quick, but yeah, that's the plan for today. Hopefully we can get it running, and after that we'll clean it up really nice, make it look awesome, and this thing should be good to go. We need to paint a couple parts on it yet if this thing runs. If it doesn't, we're gonna have to tear into the engine. We're probably gonna have to take off the head and check it out, and then maybe the cylinder, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. Oh, we also have to fix the back brake. Anyway, let's get going on this. Alright, let's just start tearing this thing apart and get to the valves. Alright, so that was pretty easy. It just took off the gas tank, and now we can access the valves right here. So this is one valve cover, and then the other one's right there. So, pretty easy to access. Looks like that was digging into the wire right there. We're gonna have to zip tie that to the frame. You can see that really dug in. Huh. Interesting. So, let's get this all set up for top dead center, and then go from there. Alright, so we're going to take off this little thing, little plug, and then we're going to look for the T. There's a line on the flywheel that you look for. I'll try to show you guys, but we'll see. Alright, the T is right there. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this in here, but we'll try. Think so. Well, you guys get the point. There's a line with a T on it, and now we're going to check the timing, which is up there. So on the timing, there should be a line that goes down like this, vertical. And it should be right at the top, right here, which it is. So then we know the timing's correct. So that's good. Now we can adjust the valves. Alright, so as suspected, this thing is really loose in here. I think we're at like 0.6 millimeters. So you can see there's a lot of play. I mean, that's a ton. So that definitely needs to be adjusted right there. And then we'll do the back side. The back side's right through here. It's gonna be hard to film, but it's that one right there. So we'll try to get that one out. Alright, second cover off. Try to get you guys a nice look at it. You can kind of see it through there. It's open. So now what we're gonna do is look up the specs and then use the feeler gauge and see if we can adjust these. Alright guys, so found the forum. It said that the intake should be 0.06 to 0.1 millimeters. This one was at 0.6 millimeters. So it was really big. And the intake is right here on this side because air is going into the engine from this side. And then the exhaust should be 0.16 to 0.2 millimeters. So 0.16 to 0.2. And that's a little bit bigger. So this one is not supposed to have that much play. So what we're going to do is adjust that. I'll show you guys how. Alright guys, so we've got the 0.76 out. That's right behind. That's right in between 0.06 and 0.01. So we're going to adjust it to that. Feeler gauge right here. So what we want to do is take a 10 mil, loosen this up a bit. Alright, loosen that up, put this right in here. Then you want to twist the top part of it right here. You have to take a pliers. Test it again. Still really loose. That one fits. Now we go up one more size and see if that one fits. Alright, so that doesn't fit. So now we can tighten this one down. You want to hold this right there and then tighten. You want to test it again just to make sure. Fitting in there. Right, that's pretty good. Now you can feel the difference between it. It should just move a little bit. And then we want to have the one above that. We don't want this one to go in. This is 0.102 right here. Yep, and that one gets stuck. So we're right in spec right there. Just to double check, take your phone, and it's 0.06 to 0.1 millimeters. So we're perfect on this one. The next one is the exhaust side. It should be 0.16 to 0.2 millimeters. All right, here we go. 0.178, that's right between the two. Now we're gonna do the same process over here on this side. So you guys probably won't be able to see it, so I'll just quick do it. But same process. You want to loosen up that nut, take the feeler gauge, and just work it around. Alright, so that side's adjusted, so we can put this away, we can put the caps back on, and then we can try to fire this thing up. Hopefully it's going to run. If it doesn't, we'll do a carb clean, and then go from there. Alright guys, we got the battery back in there. Now we're just going to put some gas down here, and see if this thing fires up. I'm doubtful. All right, here we go. No go. That's not good. Alright, so popped over, not sounding the greatest. I noticed that the engine mounts up here are broken off and the whole motor kind of just moves around in here, which is not good at all. So we're going to have to tighten those up. I think it's just held on by a couple bolts down here, but I don't like that these are off up here. That's not good to just move around like that. So we're going to tighten those up before we work on the carburetor, which the carburetor is definitely clogged up for sure. I do the choke and then push it back in, and it basically starts up every time. But yeah, so we'll clean out the carburetor. We've got the ultrasonic cleaner here. We can just dump it in there. All right, we got the bottom part of the carburetor in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I just sprayed out the top part right here. It looks pretty good. The jets weren't really too clogged. The pilot jet was clogged a tiny bit, but not too much. So I'm thinking the float height was wrong, and maybe there's just some debris in there or something. I don't know. Could have been really anything. But what we're gonna do is take the bottom half, blow out all the jets, put everything back together, and then try to start this thing up again. All right, guys, we got the carburetor back on. Gas is flowing to the carburetor. We got the engine all tightened up. That's not wobbly in there anymore. So here we go, attempting to start it again. Hopefully this thing works. Idling even. Man. I think the pipe was a little clogged up. A little smoky in there. Oh yeah. Idling good now. Woohoo! I did not think that was gonna start. Man, that's awesome. It's running really good too. Tons of power. I'm pumped. Idling great now. Comes right back down to idling. Alright, awesome. I just want to grease up some of these fittings here. Alright, those are all done, and there's one over here as well. Right in the back over here. Alright guys, we're going to attempt to ride this thing. We're going to put it in reverse, see if reverse works, and then take it for a rip around the yard, hopefully. Alright, awesome. Reverse works, neutral works, and the first gear works so far. So we're going to take it out in the snow here, see if we can get stuck. Alright, so it's definitely pretty shaky. It looks like it's leaking pretty good up here. I don't know if you guys can see up there. It's leaking some oil right there. So one of those seals is not sealing correctly, probably the one I took off. But yeah, pretty rattly. The whole motor's moving in there. You can see it just. So we gotta figure out a way to tighten that down. And the chain is pretty dang loose. Oh, the chain is so loose. So we gotta tighten up the chain, and we've got to see where it's leaking oil from, because it's leaking pretty bad. Alright guys, just get done with the little run on the road. I didn't do top speed because there's a car right there when I was doing it, and it's still really rattly and does not sound the best. It pulls to one side really bad, and it's pretty sketchy. These tires are barely on there. I don't know why they're so wobbly. I'm gonna have to take these off and try to figure that out. This one's really wobbly too. Oh, that one's not as bad. This one's just like really janky on there. I tried tightening up the nuts on the wheel and those don't do anything. So, but yeah, the motor keeps on coming loose. Actually it stayed tight this time, but it's still leaking out of the, I think there's a leak right there. So I think the gasket for the cam right here, the cam chain gasket that goes around here is really bad, I think, and it's leaking from there. Otherwise, it's not too bad. It was dripping gas a little bit at the carburetor, so the float height might have to be adjusted a little bit. And then I don't have a back brake right now, and yeah, well, I'd like to get a back brake working on here. Also, the chain is super loose, as you guys know, and these bolts right here do not want to come loose. So we're gonna have to try to soak those and try to get those loose. But yeah, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We got it started today. Luckily, did not think it was gonna start, but I'm going to order a seat cover and a gasket for the camshaft cover, and we should be good. Even reverse works on it, so that's awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. My Instagram is 2 _vintage_. If you guys want to go follow behind the scenes, I post a lot of stuff on there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Till next time, we are out.